I am a prion, otherwise known as an infectious protein. I am the cause of many neurodegenerative and fatal diseases like mad cow disease, scrappy disease, and Creutzfeldt Jakob disease. And this is my life. Prions were first discovered in the 1980s, and therefore I'm a fairly new kind of pathogen. The name prion was coined first by a man named Prisoner, and we're called prions because we are proteinaceous infectious. Otherwise, in more simpler terms, we are just infectious proteins. Prions come from the normal surface-level glycoproteins called PRPC. These are normal proteins that are found in healthy bodies, and these only become infectious when they undergo misfolded assembly, which leads to the formation of the infectious form called PRPSC. The reason for the misfolding is unknown, which simply adds to the mystery of prions and the diseases that we cause. The gene for PRPSC is located on chromosome 20 in humans, and PRPC is involved in regulating cell death. Something unique about prions, and that sets them apart from other pathogens, is that they do not have any nucleic acids like DNA or RNA. Prions are the cause of many neurodegenerative diseases. This means that there's a lot of cell damage happening in the brain tissue. When a host is infected with a prion, fragments of the PRPSC molecules will accumulate in the brain and form plaques. Professionals do not know the actual cause of cell damage, as these plaques are not the cause of damage, but are just used for post-mortem diagnosis. But enough about my backstory. It's time for me to show you how I travel and get around. Prions are most infamously known for being transmitted by ingestion, which is what starts the cycle of prion transmission from sheep to cows, then eventually to humans. Sheep are first infected with prions, which they gain from the environment. This is because in grazing areas for sheep, prions will strongly bind to soil and remain infectious, which leads to the sheep consuming the infected grass and soil. The disease that manifests when sheep are infected with prions is called scrappy. When sheep have scrappy, their brains begin to degenerate, leading to behavioral changes such as ataxia, and the sheep will begin to scrape their bodies against trees, gates, or rocks, which leads to patches of bald skin. This scraping is why the disease is called scrappy. Scrappy leads to weight loss, lethargy, and eventually to death. The biggest disease that is linked with prions is famously called mad cow disease. Scrappy will lead to mad cow disease because of the inhumane agriculture practice of feeding herbivore cows feed that was prepared from sheep that was infected with scrappy and prions. When cows ingest the infected meat, they develop mad cow disease. With mad cow disease, cows' brains will begin to degenerate, leading cows to act, as the name suggests, mad. Cows will act very aggressive even though they are docile by nature. They will react excessively to stimuli like noise and touch, and it will eventually lead to death. When humans end up consuming this infected meat or beef from the cows, they will develop a disease called Creutzfeldt Jakob disease. When infected by prions, humans will develop dementia, memory loss, personality changes, and hallucinations. Creutzfeldt Jakob disease is fatal, just like scrappy and mad cow disease. Prions are also highly correlated with other neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's, Huntington's, and Parkinson's. Another way in which prions can be transmitted is genetically, as there have been diseases that often run in families, which indicates a genetic cause. Another way in which prions can be transmitted is during a brain transplant. Laboratory studies have revealed that the standard decontamination and sterilization procedures are inefficient to completely remove prion-infected instruments. Therefore, it's much easier for prions to spread using infected tools. However, the main way that prions are spread is animal agriculture practices that are inhumane or just have a lot of negative side effects, which indicates that perhaps we should rethink a lot of the animal agriculture practices that we have in place right now. And that was my life. The end.